Hey, welcome to Waking Up to Win.
I'm Annie.
And I'm Chad.
And this is your space for real estate motivation, mindset, and the kind of coaching that pushes you from stuck to a top producer.
We are all about helping agents work on their business, not just run ragged in it.
And we believe there is more than enough room at the top for everyone to win.
Let's dive in. Yet another week gone. Huh?
Not yet. It's only it's hump day.
Well, by the time people are watching this, it's going to be another week gone.
Gone?
Gone. One more down.
Are we filming?
I believe so.
Oh,
I think we've been filming since we walked in.
All right. Well, I did want to let you know that this was going to be my last episode.
Oh, it is?
It is.
Why is that?
Because I'm going to move on from podcasting.
Oh, you are?
I am.
What are you moving on to?
Not podcasting.
So you're not actually moving on, you're just quitting?
I'm a quitter.
There's a difference between moving on and quitting.
It was just an April Fool's joke, but I didn't know where it started, so I just threw it in there.
Good one. Give me the badumpcha, Aaron.
I got you, though, didn't I?
Sure. Didn't believe you for one friggin' second.
My son got me this morning.
Oh, yeah?
And it was good with Grok. Is that the AI that's Elon Musk?
Grok or Gronk?
Gronk? I don't know. I don't use it, but
I don't either. I think it's Grok. Is it? There's no N, right, Aaron?
Grok.
Yeah, Grok.
No,
yeah, Grok.
There is an N. It's
there is an N?
Yep.
Okay, Gronk.
Okay, so anyway, he sent me a picture of his truck
I don't
that
use
got
it either.
hit by a boulder.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was all
Giving him,
I was giving him insurance advice.
Listen, that AI animation characterist thing is definitely the newest trend. And so Meta just released Meta AI, which is very similar to ChatGPT's app or Google's Gemini app. So, those are all coming out now.
Well, it makes April Fools a lot easier to get
For
somebody when you can actually send the fake.
You remember
send the facts.
Yeah, you remember 2 years ago when everybody was talking about all the deep fakes, and I'm like, yeah, that capability is in every single person's hands for free now.
Yeah.
So
fake how you look, where you live.
Anyways, you ready for
I'm ready.
Inspiration? Let's get inspode.
Let's do it.
Okay. I got a little bit of a different thing for you this week for inspiration. So we're just going to vibe for a little bit. Because I think sometimes people get tired of hearing my voice. So I came up with a little different inspo this week. So you ready to vibe for a minute?
Maybe.
All right. If you're watching, just vibe with us. Feel free to talk.
What are we doing?
Hit it, Aaron.
With time,
I can hear the rain.
I realized. With time, I understood. The only person I owe an explanation of my life to is myself. I walked through life believing I had to explain my ways. Why I lived the way I lived, why I thought the way I thought. Every time I spoke my truth, they judged me from their view. Every time I tried to fit, I was wrong to be me. They saw from where they stood, but what I didn't say, I was standing on the top, seeing far beyond their place. I paid for this vision with blood and with scars. I built this strength through broken parts. They couldn't see what I could see. They never walked the road with me, so I don't waste my time explaining myself anymore. Explaining myself was losing who I'm here for. My time is too valuable, my mission too clear. I was built to become who I was meant to be here. I owe no explanations, I owe no apologies. My life speaks louder when
This is your theme song.
I know.
Where you are in your journey.
I know.
How'd you find that?
It's one of the songs on an affirmation playlist that I discovered on Spotify.
Every loss, every lesson learned from where they stood.
It's my favorite verse.
It looked unclear, but from where I stand, everything is real. They couldn't see the path because they never paid the price. They never bled for truth, they never fought for life. So I stopped listening to all that noise. Stop stop confusing my purpose with someone else's voices. I don't waste my time trying to be understood.
It's good, ain't it?
Was never any good. My time was built for growth, for purpose.
Aaron,
for truth,
what do you think?
for becoming the woman I was born
Has a
to
good
be.
vibe.
Yeah.
No
So
Who is this? Who is this artist?
So, Aaron, what's the artist name of this song? I forget.
I am the Empiritrix.
Yeah. So the song is on Spotify. Has this station, we're gonna call it, because that's what.
Because I'm old,
Yeah,
and
so,
I need to put it in a frame of reference.
to resonate with
Got
you,
it.
right? It's a station. That
106.5.
is called Affirmation Club.
Okay.
And so the whole station is just affirmative
good,
songs,
feel
like,
good.
yeah, internal whatever. And that's one of the things that I've struggled with lately is like my internal view of myself doesn't match what is showing up in the world. And so like that song has just been on my morning playlist lately.
Now, what's going to be interesting, how I heard it, which is going to interest you because I'm going to hear it differently. How I heard it was for the vibe of the brokerage of who we attract because we want everyone to feel that way.
Yeah. Well, the authenticity.
Everybody has
is
a
the core
voice. Every
value.
voice is heard. Like we're not trying
right.
to shape you into us. We want you to be authentically you.
No, we want to help you find who you are and then amplify that.
Yeah.
So yeah,
That was cool.
No, it's a great song. I love it. It's on my daily playlist right now.
That was good. Good job.
That's something that I've been doing lately. Is every morning I establish a routine, and that's the vibe. I call it the vibe a lot. You hear me talk about vibe a lot, but for me that means what I see, what I smell, what I hear, what I taste, like my senses. What
like the word vibe.
Taking in. And I'm in control of the vibe, I've realized recently. Which,
for yourself.
For myself,
right.
Yeah. And I think everybody is. And sometimes it just takes a minute to quiet your mind.
Well, and it's got to be okay.
And meditate on that thought a little bit. Like think about that thought, feel that thought.
But let me ask you this.
So, yeah.
So you have your vibe that you feel internally. Where do you become okay with that it's not, just because that's the vibe you feel that you're putting out, it may not be the vibe that I'm receiving. How do you rectify that? Like,
that's okay. That's in that song,
right?
It doesn't matter.
But I mean, like,
It's
how
not
did you make that
relevant.
shift? Because that's a shift.
I don't know how. I honestly don't know. I think that it's a.
Because people worry about that.
And it's not saying, well, yeah, it's fear.
Whole life.
So I think that I've always known that agency is. So I've been doing some personal like core value identification work on my own, missioning and visioning and stuff like that for my life, and I think that. I've always known that agency is a core value of mine. And so agency to me means my free will, my right to choose my own destiny. Nobody can take that from me. That is something that I hold in very high value for myself. And you'll frequently find when I negatively react to you, it's because I feel like you're trying to take my choice from me. Whether you are or not.
Speaking to me directly?
No, just
you in general.
Anybody that ever interacts with me, right?
Right.
And then
hard. You react hard.
Right, because I value my
like
choice,
when you could go
my
back,
free will a lot. That is a big piece of where I
somewhere
think I'm worth.
But
or what I
somewhere
think I'm
you've
worth.
realized that. I mean, like you lived or died by that years ago, and now
absolutely.
somewhere you've shifted. A paradigm has shifted. That now you're like, that's okay. That you're not okay with that because only you have to be okay with it.
No, and I think it's the trifecta conversation. So in conjunction with running the business and me, figuring out my own mental health, we'll just leave it at that. But doing this mission and envisioning personally, I leaned into the theory of three, because three, like from a numerology standpoint, and I'm not a numerologist by any stretch of the imagination. I was just upset and thinking and meditating one day and realized that most of the things that bring me joy in life have the number 3 or the root word try in them. And by accident.
I was going to say
it's not something that I like.
Not just you, we. I mean, it's been
me, you.
It's been
most of the people that are long term in my life have that structure to it, that 3 structure, right, of the number 3, whether that's a 3-legged business methodology, three-legged stool business methodology, or it's my own vision and mission, and then through that vision and mission coming up with what are the 3 core values where I derive my self-worth from was the exercise that I was working on. And so agency was a natural choice. That's been true since I was a child. It's inherent in me. Me and my entire family value our right to make choices and nobody's ability to take that away over almost all else. So that's number 1. Number 2, I really thought was intelligence. But I don't know that it's intelligence. I still haven't quite landed on the word. It's something in that realm, or I thought it was for a long time. But I think what I've realized is that I actually value connection and community more than intelligence. And that stems from coming out and all of that kind of thing. Like growing up, coming of age, I was very lonely in the world because nobody else around me was like me, if you will. So that formed that need for connection early on. And I don't know what the third one was yet. And I think that that's the realization of that third one, which right now I'm looking at some different ones. I haven't quite landed on the word yet. But I think it's finding that third one that has made me realize that for a long time I relied on my choice and my intelligence as my sole value proposition for my self-worth. And that's 2 value propositions are probably not the most healthy, because in order to maintain a healthy life, I think most people would agree you have to have a healthy body, a healthy heart, and a healthy mind.
Well, we've been going down that whole 3, so we've been doing that a lot with everything that we've been doing. And that 3-legged stool, which is where you're deriving that from, is, a 3-legged stool is the sturdiest structure that there is for a stool. It takes 3 legs. It always finds level. You add that 4th leg because somebody thought that looked better. And that 4th leg is why it wobbles, because it's very hard for it to find level. So, you were saying goes back. It does. It goes all the way back to God.
Well, and triangles
and the trinity of that.
Trinities, right? So, and part of the realization of all of this was I had Gemini do a research on the etymology and linguistic history of the number 3 throughout human history, which is, that's what that means. That's what those words mean.
Right.
So, it came back and it did so. The triangle in geometry, the triangle is the strongest shape.
Right.
Right? So it's the basis of most other shapes that exist in the world, or structurally, physically, it's the strongest shapes, the most long-lasting shape. Equilateral triangle specifically. But so there's that. In theology and religion,
God the Father,
every
the
single
Holy Spirit.
religion that is accepted on a large scale involves some sort of Trinity. Whether that's for Christians, it's the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. So there's that is in there. In medical psychology and physical and all of that medical industry, they really do holistically. If you talk to a holistic doctor, they look at those 3 pillars of existence as your health: mental health, physical health, and emotional health. So it's just everywhere. And that was it. All of a sudden was everywhere. And then it was all of a sudden like, I don't know what my 3rd core value is. I should probably figure that out. Right. And so I did. So that's where it comes from. But just finding things to remind myself of that as I seek that.
Well, you need to find that 3rd one
in there. Yeah, I think I have, but I'm not ready to share it yet. Okay. So, but I'm looking. Yeah. So that's where that came from. But if you need some affirmational music in the morning, that just is the one that hit me because the beat's there, it is whatever.
It was good.
There's thousands of songs on that playlist, Affirmation Club on Spotify.
Well, go find that station.
Yeah, we'll link the station, as Annie calls it, in the comments on the podcast.
And now you know.
You know what I think I learned this week? I don't know whether it's new learning, but it definitely deepened my understanding of it. People, especially real estate agents, have a hard time letting other people off the hook. And
you're gonna have to give an example. That's way too general.
We have negotiations going on between one of our agents and another agent that doesn't work with us, and our agent is having a hard time understanding how somebody else could be so assertively directing what they're doing and also not really know the facts or have the logic, or like there's no logic in the conversation. It's emotionally negative and it's coming from a place of reaction. So like
that's a skill that you really have to learn to combat that, though, right?
Right. And so like I think that
I can control myself in the conversation. I know my facts. I know what I need the outcome to be and not react.
Right.
That's the problem. It's hard not to react.
So the story is, like the full story, names being redacted to protect the innocent, is there's a sale contract. The sale contract is contingent on financing, and we represent the seller, and the buyer's agent on the other side works for a different brokerage, is very directive with her communication to us. And number one, stop telling me how to do my job. I don't need you to tell me how to do my job. So
yeah, but you find that all the time.
I'm going to react, right? Because this is what our agent did, is they took that moment and they reacted to everything. So when she got the directive communication from the buyer's agent, her reaction was, fuck you.
Yeah.
Why are you telling me what to do?
But I want to give our agent a lot of credit that she knew that was her reaction, and she instantly came for, okay, this is my first response. Now I'm going to talk with you because I'm going to have you help me not respond that way. So that's huge.
Yeah,
and
I agree with you. And that's the point that I'm like, the thing that I learned is like, oh, wow. I think maybe we just learned that we are teaching that skill.
Yeah. And learning it ourselves, because
oh, no, it's
I
true.
asked you a question last night and you went to the dark place because I wasn't hearing you and you could not. But I think I did a really good job of not going to the dark place with you, because that's usually when we get bloody and we like duke it out.
Yeah, we did that earlier.
But it is human nature. It is that whole psychological thing when you feel like your child has been attacked. That's who responds back, is your inner child.
Well, and it's realizing
someone's got to be the grown up.
Rely on your feelings. A lot of people don't like to rely on their feelings, but it's. I think maybe that's the conversation. It's not relying on your feelings is different than reacting.
I want to say we use the word, and I'm not really a big fan of using it all the time, but something that was said triggers you, and then your response comes from that place of fear or hurt that in a past experience. And sometimes you just have to take a minute and breathe and think, okay, that's what they said. Now, what did they say that I need to actually respond to? Because I can take all the bullshit out.
Right.
I can take all your emotion. And that agent, if we're telling the whole story without naming names, their contingency has come and gone.
Right.
So we don't even care. It's not our contingency, but they haven't executed that that contingency. So at that point, you're just representing your client, and it doesn't matter what that person is saying. They're just trying to bully you. That was where I was.
100%.
I'm going to talk louder and stronger, and I'm going to use words so that you think that I'm in control. When I'm over here going, "Yay, I fully see you. I'm not going to reply.
Right.
And here's what we're going to do."
Right. See, and I think that's what I learned is the skill, or what I would like to learn or hone in on or talk about is the skill to realize that not to pick up the other person's emotions. So there's a reason that buyer's agent
Gina Pirro taught us that.
Yeah, right. She did. A previous guest on the old podcast. But there's a reason that agent is presenting everything that way based off of their experiences and where they come from and all of that thing. But that doesn't have anything to do with you.
It's not your realm of control.
You don't have to react in the same way that they're acting.
They can cuss you out. They can spit on you. It doesn't matter.
It's not really going to change the facts, right?
It doesn't.
And then, taking that further, because I do think our agent gets that, right? The skill that I think that I struggle with and she struggles with, and that's why I relate to this agent a lot, because we have a lot of the same core values and things like that.
Life experience.
The struggle is to not feel the need to tell the other person that you're not reacting to them, because that's still a reaction.
I know. You. I'm pretty sure you said it yesterday, but it goes even further than that, which is the coaching to the agent is now you have a job to do,
right?
And you got to go present the choices that our client has,
right?
And nowhere can you bring your energy of let's stick it to her,
right?
Because it's not your choice.
Well, and
it's not your contract to stick it to.
It's an emotional response, and so I think distinguishing between when you have a reaction to somebody, right? This is kind of what I've learned, not just in the last week, but over the last few weeks of this whole whatever. When you have a reaction, are you having an instinctual reaction? Are you having an emotional reaction? Or are you having a logical reaction, right? Is the question that I ask myself now inside my own head, in my internal dialogue, or try to. Sometimes...
Yeah, you got to do that in real time, too.
If it's instinctual, it's harder to realize that. And what I realized or learned not too long ago is where reactions come from in your brain.
Can I make a connection?
Yeah, go.
I mean, that core value you have of agency is where your reaction, if somebody's telling you you're wrong or telling you how you're going to do it, and you spoke of your family and you had said that yesterday, that could be a strength and or a weakness or both. It's when somebody triggers that emotional response.
Yeah.
And just managing that for ourselves.
So when somebody or something, I don't even know, it doesn't even have to be somebody. And that's the thing, like you said, you didn't like the word triggers, which I get.
It's just overusing it. I don't not like it. I just feel like, now it's just becoming...
But recognizing triggers and what a trigger is, which is just external stimulus, right? It could be a person said something. It could be it's raining outside and that's triggering me. It could be whatever it is. And you don't have to verbalize your triggers.
That's, I guess, where my point was. Like, everyone doesn't... I'm triggered.
Right. You have to acknowledge them
to
in
yourself.
Order to be able to move on past it, but you don't have to acknowledge them
you
to
said that,
everybody else.
That's right.
Acknowledgement is an internal thing. Right. When you're triggered and you're trying to acknowledge that you're triggered, it's about
you.
Oh, hey, me. Hi. Yeah.
It's the little voice in your head.
I see you up there, like... And for me, I'm very logical. I'm very structured. That's very much ingrained in who I am. And so learning that it's the part of the brain called the amygdala that lights up, for lack of a better word, when you're triggered. And there's only two paths from the amygdala, which is in your subconscious brain, to the prefrontal cortex, which is in your conscious brain. And there's what they call the high road and the low road. And so you have to stop and go, if I'm not having a logical reaction, that's the high road. That brings your reaction into the conscious, thought out behavior. If you let the low road go, that all happens unconsciously. So some people don't even realize or consciously know they're being triggered.
Sure. And
which was fascinating.
Some people can also be triggered and pivot without having to tell the world how they're emotionally feeling and why they're reacting and justifying
they get
it.
Triggered. They go, oh, that's an emotional reaction. Take the high road. And then instantly your prefrontal cortex lights up as soon as you have that reaction. And you're able to logically go, okay, this person is just being, for whatever reason, I don't know, but it doesn't really matter rationally or logically to what I'm trying to accomplish. So I let it go.
It's fair to say it's an internal tool.
Oh,
it's
100%.
not. But some people, without doing the work, you think it's an external tool, and now it becomes a weapon that I use against you that you triggered me.
Right.
And so that's probably where I was talking about, like, that's too much. Like, it needs to be internal work.
It does. But also you have to bear in mind, so like you have to give the other person empathy in that. So if I'm telling you I'm triggered or you've just triggered me, that doesn't mean anything about you. I'm just acknowledging it. And for me, I need to acknowledge it in the moment. You can't
You just acknowledge. You just need to
that.
acknowledge it to yourself and do your process of how you need to move on.
My process involves
Because it is a
saying
you problem
but
at that point.
But my process involves saying it out loud. Otherwise, I don't
Why is
acknowledge
that?
it. Why does it matter?
Because then that's going to trigger the next person in another
Possibly
reaction.
or possibly not.
Yeah.
But that's on them, not me.
Yeah.
So for me, I like to say it out loud. Not everybody has to. That's okay, one way or the other, but that's just me.
Yeah.
So that
Now
was
you know.
just something. And then it came up one more time too in Jesse's Enneagram introduction. I was super excited about that. I think the Enneagram is going to be some good conversation. So
What came up?
on the podcast, that emotional trigger or instinctual trigger. It's innuendo in what she presented yesterday. So Jessie is certified in the Enneagram personality system.
Yeah. It was just a tiny little taste. So I think I think that we've left them confused and or wanting more of where that's going.
Well, and it's coming.
Because it was just a tiny little bit.
It's coming. But yeah, the Enneagram.
I don't know much about it. So that was all I got.
Based on that triad
Yep.
methodology or the 3 numerology. And it's a long-standing personality assessment. So, but it's cool because it's interpersonal. It's not interpersonal, which most personality assessments are.
Yeah.
So
I'm looking forward to it.
I know, me
I
too.
always like to learn.
Now you know.
Now you know.
Now you know what we know.
If you trigger Chad, he's going to tell you.
It's not necessarily true. What is going on in real estate? What's our headline today, Erin?
Okay. Projects partly funded by Nevada governor's housing bill takes off, aiming at affordability crisis. Now, this is not local, but I thought it was a cool take on how they're trying to make, home affordability better. So, a new housing development supported by funding from the landmark housing bill passed last year, which aims to help an unexpected group affected by the affordability crisis, which is middle income families. So, because pretty much a synopsis of the article is saying that, obviously people with money, like they don't have any issues like getting homes. They have programs that are federally funded for lower class or people who struggle a little bit more. But now, specifically this is kind of like the Las Vegas, Nevada area, those middle income people who make too much for...
It's everywhere. I think that's here too.
Right, yes.
Low income,
so I thought that
right?
was kind of... So they pretty much created... Okay, so the law created a $133 million Nevada attainable housing account to support development of single and multifamily housing at prices middle income families can afford. The bulk of that money is flowing to developers, but funding will also help local governments reimburse builders' fees and permit costs and assist Nevadans with their mortgage or rent payments.
That's fascinating.
Does it say like how you qualify for that or how you get it?
I heard when you said that they're giving the money to developers, right? Builders?
Yes.
How does a builder qualify for it?
They just have to guarantee they build houses at the median income price point.
So there was one neighborhood that was created with this new act. The 29 single-family homes in Paradise Trails, which are now available for purchase, are in line with Nevada's average housing cost. Estimated the monthly mortgage payment for the new houses will be around $2,000, which without this act or this law would have been closer to $3,000.
Which I feel is where we are for that middle of the road house. It's a $3,000 house payment now.
And part of the reason that housing is so unaffordable is because of all the red tape that the government has put on builders after the financial crisis.
Right.
And so that to me is them subsidizing, is the state subsidizing the federal tape required to get through a project approved. And so, I mean, the Home Builders Association has long said that the average cost of red tape, permits, all that kind of crap is about 30% of the cost of building a home for somebody. So that's cool. That's a good idea. I mean, and it's on a state level. I like that.
No, and I think builders would love to build these homes again for this in this price point.
Yeah. I'd be careful if the federal government started doing that. I don't think that, but if that works in those local markets, and especially what you said with the cities getting to be able to earmark some of that money to, like, that's cool that it's local. I like that a lot.
It'll be interesting to see where it goes.
I wonder if Missouri has any plans on trying anything like that.
I know. I thought, I mean, if it's working.
Right. Well, they probably don't know yet.
Yeah.
There's going to be time to see,
Yeah.
That's not magic money. It's coming from,
Yeah.
Taxes.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, yeah.
That's where I went down the same rabbit hole. It's like, okay, here we go. We've done this a lot.
Right.
We've done this so many times in our history, and it never works out for us. You cannot subsidize affordability.
You've got to fix the root of why it's not affordable.
Right.
It feels a little like a Band-Aid.
It is.
So.
But it's going to help the people who live in those
local markets. A few people. I mean, that's the other part. How many people can that... I mean, it sounds like a lot of money, but how many can that really help?
Well, again, it's very localized, too, I think. So whatever municipalities jump on that bandwagon and soak that subsidy up first. The importance of staying abreast in the news. Abreast? Is that word right?
It is.
Okay. I was like, I don't know.
Abreast.
It is.
Abreast to the news?
I would have just said staying abreast, period.
Oh, that works, too.
Chad, you say a lot of fancy words that I don't know.
I don't. Sorry.
Okay. HOA fees versus mortgage rates, which is actually driving the 2026 affordability crisis. So, key takeaways from this article. Nearly 44% of homes for sale in 2025 had homeowner association fees. About 2/3 of new housing is being built in community associations. HOA fees were a median of $135 in 2025, which is up from $108 in 2019. Rising HOA fees may wipe out any savings homebuyers see from declining mortgage rates.
Makes me feel better about my HOA fees.
Are yours expensive?
No, they're less than the median.
Oh.
$135 a year. Mm-hmm. Is that what you said? Yeah, no, mine are.
No, but we have some
like 110, I think, or something like that.
And I think those are probably not what we're talking about here. I think it's those big ones. We have some deals that we can't get done because of these HOA fees.
Well,
condos.
There's a difference between a HOA and a COA, which is, I think, what you're talking about, condo association fees.
Either.
That says HOA, so I would assume...
Does it talk about condos in there?
That condos are not included in that number. Because I don't believe for 2 seconds flat that $135 would be the median if condo association fees were...
Not anymore.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So they've got to be excluded from those numbers.
Yeah, no, this is just homeowners association fees.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen that affecting us so much as it is with condos.
Yeah, I think the point of the article was the HOA fees, because a lot of people complain about HOA fees a lot. And they are getting more expensive because insurance and everything that an HOA pays for is getting more expensive. But yeah, I agree with you. That hasn't affected us much.
So actually, they do talk about condos. So they're talking about Florida.
Yeah.
But to ensure that, like, where legislation to ensure the integrity of older condos, older condos now must have an engineer study, fix issues, books examined, and have proper reserves, which I know also is going on in our area.
Yeah. So that number, that $135 number, does include condo association fees?
Well, that was just a key takeaway. It didn't, let's see.
Because if that's the case, then it's definitely interest rates that are causing the problem. Because that's low.
So, though it's the median, they're saying, but not everyone has HOA fees that low. About 3 million homes paid more than $500 a month in 2024, according to estimates from the Census Bureau's 2024 American Community Survey.
Which is great, but that doesn't matter. That's not relevant to the median. The median is the median. The median is the middlemost reoccurring number across the entire board. So whether somebody paid 500, and I know 3 million is a bait word or a bait number in there to me. They're trying to get me to feel like that's a lot, but when you consider all of the HOA fees that were closed last year across the entire country, 3 million is very low portion of that. So
what was the title of this article?
Only extreme cases where that $500 is happening. It's whether interest rates or HOA fees are causing the affordability crisis or contributing to it more than the other. Which, because people are saying interest rates are at all-time lows, which they are.
Yeah. I just see it in the condos or the special associations like a lake. I'm trying to think, what is the one out there? Not in Wright City, but it's like $1,200 a year.
The niche ones.
Right.
But that $1,200 a year also includes your sewer and water and trash utilities in Marthasville.
That's
Lake Shorewood.
Lake Shorewood.
So like you can't compare that either. And even $1,200 a year is $100 a month.
I think from that affordability, where I see it with our buyers, is people used to think, well, I can't afford that house now. I'm going to go buy that condo. And when they're looking at that condo and the association fee is $600, they might be able to afford that house, or they still can't afford that condo because that $600 a month gets factored in. So
that's kind of where my brain was going with this article.
Yeah, that's how I heard that. And that has been a reality for us. And we have a couple of condos for sale that have HOA fees that are knocking every buyer who thinks they can afford a condo of $200,000 or less. They can't when the HOA fee is $600 a month.
You even had a conversation like that with one of your buyers who's not going to move to Illinois, but that was a big factor in what he was looking at.
Yeah.
I don't think either of those things are the root cause of the affordability crisis personally, but neither of them are helping it.
No.
By any stretch of the imagination. So I think the root cause of the affordability crisis is simple supply and demand. We ain't got enough houses for the people that need a house. Period. End of story. But what do I know? Apparently a lot of big words, but other than that, nothing. What the floop?
What the floop?
You remember yesterday when I tried to cook hamburgers and teach class at the same time? That did not go well. That was like a what the floop moment for me, I feel like.
I was like, you never cooked hamburgers before on a charcoal grill.
I have not ever cooked hamburgers
So I
before.
thought...
It was the first time I had ever cooked hamburgers on a charcoal grill. I will tell you that. I have cooked a lot of things on charcoal grill. Hamburgers are not something that I eat a lot of.
Let's back this train up.
I've never cooked a hamburger on a charcoal grill until yesterday, and I will also make the statement, I still haven't cooked a hamburger on a charcoal grill.
You cooked one. The one in the middle cooked. Just
and
the
I
one,
ate it, and it was
the
very
one
good.
that Aaron got
Was
cooked.
it?
Yeah.
The one I got was
Well,
like, eh.
it takes time. And that was so the whole time that Jesse was talking, I thought you were cooking the burgers. That's why we said, let's cook burgers. Chad can put them on the grill while Jesse's talking. And then he comes back in and he
lit the grill when Jesse was talking, but I didn't realize how long it takes for a charcoal grill to get hot. Mine gets hotter faster than that. I must put, like when I cook a steak or like I'll cook sirloins or fillets or T-bones on a charcoal grill all the time.
Yeah, but you eat them rare. You're kind of a rare meat eater.
Medium rare.
Yeah.
Well, it's not rare.
Well, these burgers were rare. He sent me out there to turn them.
The burgers were rare by the time they were done.
I'm medium rare. Like I'm like you. So like I liked them.
No, they just weren't cooking. And it was raining.
Oh, it's just because I didn't have enough charcoal in there. So when I lit the charcoal, I lit it, and there was leftover charcoal like that had burnt out in the grill. So I just put that back in the chimney and relit it. But I didn't add any charcoal to it when I lit it. So that charcoal burned out really fast. And then the grill got cold.
Because you sent me out there to flip them. And I was like, I'm not sure why I'm flipping them. They're raw.
They're still raw. And they had been on the grill for like 15 minutes at that point. And I'm like, they can't still be raw.
What time was the momentum meeting? 11 to 1? And it was like 12:30 and we hadn't
were
fed
supposed
them yet.
to eat at 11:30 and it was 12:30 and we still hadn't eaten.
So we cooked them in the air fryer.
In the broiler.
And they were delicious.
They were. I've never broiled a hamburger either. It worked out. Created a giant mess in the hamburger.
It did. It was not.
10 out of 10 do not recommend cooking hamburgers in the broiler at all.
Or if you're cooking them on a charcoal grill, allow time.
Or just know what you're doing. One or the other.
They were still good. So I don't know. What else? You got a better what the flu? That wasn't that bad. We ate.
And everyone was happy. Everyone said they
they were good burgers.
Okay, so I found this on Facebook, of course. So this agent said that they went on vacation and asked an agent to help with a client. This agent that was helping her tried to steal her client, and then when she went to her broker, the broker said that he or she had to add them as a co-agent.
They work for the same broker? Mm-hmm. That's interesting.
Thoughts?
Not on that, but it popped a thought into my head.
I don't like to react to those Facebook things like I did that because I don't have enough context to have a reaction.
Well, here, let me give you a real one.
You want me to make up the rest of the story?
Right.
I could make up either side of that story, why the broker was justified and why the broker wasn't justified.
I had one of those last week, not quite that way, but it was the other agent on the other side was on vacation. And it was, they were dealing with a reload company. So we'd already gone back and forth, and she said, we really need to do this verbally because the reload company will not counter. So we need to agree on what we're going to do. This was after the first roundabout, and then we released it, and then we came back. So I said, okay, great, call me. And she said, I'm on the beach, just send it. So I tell the client that, and we send it. And then she sent a message back and said, they're not going to let you keep the hot tub. And I said, okay, not a deal breaker. Great.
Send me the counter.
So she said, right. So she said, I'll send you that. She never did. And then it came 9:00 that night and I messaged her and said, so are we under contract? And she said, oh, I'm on vacation. You're going to have to do that at 9:00 at night. And it was just, that was a what the flu. If you're going on vacation, go on vacation. But find somebody to cover your shit or tell your client you're going on vacation.
It is an ethical violation through and through. If I have ever heard one, that is an ethics violation.
And that she even just said it. She literally said, I'm with my kids at the beach.
Did she actually text you that?
No.
Oh.
That was when I called her and she finally picked up and she said, yeah, I'm actually at the beach with my kids. I can't deal with this right now. Those were her words.
Aggravating as hell. People are aggravating.
What the floop?
Yeah, do better. Do better, hey, people.
See you next week.
Oh, that was it? All right.
All right, that's a wrap on another week of chaos, closings, and questionable decisions.
If this episode made you laugh, think, or text your real estate bestie like, girl, this is us, do us a favor.
Hit that subscribe button, leave a quick review, follow us on socials, or send us your own unhinged real estate stories. Seriously, we want to share them.
And hey, don't just survive this week. Get out there and build your business.
You've got everything it takes.
We'll be back next week with more chaos and more clarity.
Until then,
keep waking up to win.